We're live. Hello, friends, and welcome to the next video. Next video. This isn't really a video. This is a live stream. I'm stupid. Trying something out a little different today. Let me just adjust this. Okay. There we go. So, trying something out. Trying something a little different out today. Basically, I have a bunch of video ideas here for like shorts, and I'm just gonna make them live and answer questions, tell stories, all that kind of stuff. And we're going to see how it goes. Hopefully it goes well. There might be a little bit of a buzzing sound. If you hear that, that's because I got a phone cooler on because it's like 90 degrees out right now. So I got to cool my phone down. But I was told yesterday you couldn't really hear it, so we'll see how it goes. I'm going to get into the next story, or the first story, here in about 5 minutes. I'm going to wait and see if anyone else pops in. That is my I will be back later screen. Also, while I'm recording, I might not be able to see chat really good because I got chat on my other phone, and so I have to kind of look down to see chat. But any questions you ask, I will get to them. Be a disaster. I don't know yet. All right. So, we go to my notes. All right, so Nestle. Okay, so I got a couple things I'm gonna do. One of the main series I'm gonna do is the Homeless Survival Guide. So I'm just gonna film videos for that, and you guys jump in, ask any questions whenever you want to. So the first one is where to sleep. So it depends. Hold on. Technical difficulties. Yeah, they're my faults. No scripts, by the way. So, where to sleep if you're a traveling nomad, traveling homeless. So, that means if you're going town to town. So, there's a couple spots. The first thing I would recommend is always have a phone on you. Try and keep service on that phone so you can access Google Maps. That way you can look at satellite view and you can zoom in and look to try and find spots, try and find bridges up ahead, and just plan your days out according to that. So if I'm 30 miles away from a town and I look on my Google Maps and I see there's a bridge like 10 miles away, I'll probably stop 10 miles into the trek, camp out there for the night, and then continue onward. So yeah, always look at Google Maps, try and find a place to sleep off Google Maps. The best places to sleep would be like under bridges is great, storm drains if it's not raining, out in woodlands. Like if you're walking up, there's many times where I was walking along the side of the highway, woods to the left of me, woods to the right of me, feet got tired, just ducked in the woods, went to sleep. Yeah, that's how you would find places to sleep if you're traveling. So where to find places to sleep if you're just stationary, like you're homeless and you're stationary. So you want to find places nobody's going to see you, because the difference between when you're traveling and when you're stationary is if you're stationary, people are going to notice you if you have the same routine every day. So you want to be kind of hidden a little more. Still, some of the best places to sleep are bridges, but if you're stationary, the best place to find is somewhere out in the woods. Just, if you're in like a decent sized city, stay on the outskirts of the city, find a patch of woods, camp out there. If you're in the desert, it's a lot harder because there's fewer trees in the desert, fewer forests. So for that, look for like underpasses, bridges, that kind of stuff. They're very common in the desert. Or they'll have little underpasses for like water to pass through and stuff. Those are great as long as you're not, in a flood warning or something like that. Yeah, that is pretty much where to find places to sleep when you're stationary homeless. Where to get work. So, hello, welcome to the chat. For anybody just joining, because I just got a few people who came in. I'm just filming videos and telling stories and answering questions and all that stuff that I've gotten so many times. So if you have any questions or anything, drop them below. Anyway, the next video I'm working on is where to find places to sleep, I just did that. Where to find work if you're homeless. So if you're trying to find temporary work while you're homeless, the best thing to do is just ask people. If you see like a U-Haul van, just walk up and ask, hey, do you need help loading or unloading? If you see a construction site, just walk up, hey, I got a strong back, I can carry whatever you need me to carry. Or, if you actually have construction experience, that's a bonus. So yeah, like U-Haul vans, construction sites, landscaping. For a while, I had a job while I was homeless, jacking up trailers. Yeah, all you got to do is ask. If it's a Friday night, walk into a restaurant, like a busy mom and pop restaurant, and say, hey, I'll wash dishes for minimum wage. And the thing is, 9 times out of 10, the person's probably going to say no. But the one time you get a yes, that's $100 in your pocket. And for me anyway, that lasts weeks. See, that's how you would get little gigs if you're homeless. Now, if you want to try and find like permanent work, that's a lot more difficult, especially if you don't have an ID. Like me, for example, I don't have an ID. So for most jobs, you need an ID to get the job, but not all. One place to look is like online. You can go online. I think RanchWorks is the name of the website. You can find like jobs working on farms and such. Some of them require experience, some of them don't require experience. Many times they'll give you a place to live, and you can just have like a full-time job. We did that for about 4 or 5 months. Me and British dude, we went on to RanchWorks. He found a job up in Kentucky. We went out to Kentucky. I lived in the house for a little while. Wasn't too fond of her, of the woman we were working for. That's a story for another time. And we ended up finding another job through that up in North Dakota. So yeah, you can find a lot of work online doing like ranching and stuff, even if you don't have experience. But obviously, if you have experience, that's really going to help you. What's the next one here? How to get food and water. So there's a couple ways to get food and water if you're homeless. Obviously, shelters, soup kitchens, you can do that. Food stamps, you can go to like any social services place and apply for food stamps, tell them you're homeless. I'm pretty sure you'll get them. I don't know exactly. I'm not on food stamps. But I know many homeless people go that route. Other than that, just find places to work. Like I said in the previous video, just ask people if you can help them out and make some money. 9 times out of 10 they say no. 1 time they say yes. You got a lot of money in your pocket for food. As for what to eat, my dog is barking. Okay, she's calmed down. As for what to eat, don't buy expensive stuff. Don't buy like steaks or anything like that. When I was traveling, I was mostly living off like peanut butter and ramen noodles. That was it right there. Other stuff, get like wraps, cheese, deli meats. I know in the summertime it's hard to keep things refrigerated, but in the wintertime it's not an issue. Yeah, I would often just get some wraps and some deli meats and some cheese, and I'd have burritos for days. Super cheap. I was probably living off of $2 or $3 a day for a food budget, so it's, I don't want to say easy to do, but it's doable as long as you're not craving any like steak or anything like expensive. Here's something I don't think I've ever talked about on this channel. Taking rides from strangers, like hitchhiking and stuff. So, when I was traveling, I never really took rides all that often. There were a few times. Like, after I'd gotten to California, I'd taken some rides up north. Always be careful and listen to your gut. I've never personally had a bad experience getting a ride from a stranger, but obviously it's very sketchy. So if someone pulls up to you and, hey, do you need a ride? Listen to your gut. If they look sketchy, they seem sketchy, better to just walk. Or you know, maybe somebody else will offer you a ride at some point. Never ever, there's a wasp. Never ever take a ride from somebody you don't trust completely, or someone who looks sketchy. It's dangerous. And also on that note, taking like food and water from people. There were many times where I'd be sitting up, charging my phone and stuff with my solar panel, and somebody would drive up and say, hey, I got you food. And I've never had a bad experience with that, ever. But I've always checked the food or the water. Like, if somebody ever handed me like a bottle of water and the cap was open, I wouldn't drink it. And whenever somebody would give me food, I'd always look at the food and make sure there wasn't anything sketchy about the food, because there's some pretty sick and twisted people in the world. They are the minority, of course, but they do exist, and they do stupid things. And I have heard horror stories of what other homeless people have had to deal with, you know, when somebody gives them food or water. And it's just not fun. So if somebody ever gives you like food or water or anything like that, always just double check it. Make sure it's good. And if something seems off, just throw it away. Don't risk it. Oh, this is another thing I don't think I've ever really talked about on this channel. How to deal with rude people. How to deal with rude people. So, in my traveling across the country and being homeless, I have had to deal with very few rude people, luckily, but it has happened. Unfortunately, it's mostly from other homeless people. That's depressing, but that's how it is. But in this one, I'm going to focus on how to deal with like rude people who aren't homeless. So I'll give a great example here. I was in San Angelo. Yeah. I can't even say the word now. I can't say the name. San Angelo. I was in San Angelo, Texas. And I was kind of off to the side at Walmart. I was using my solar panel to charge up. And some teenagers pulled up in their truck and started yelling and screaming some stupid stuff. And all I did was I just grabbed my solar panel and folded it up, threw it in my backpack, just walked away. That's what you need to do 100% of the time. No matter who it is. If somebody's just being rude to you and yelling, screaming, being a Karen, whatever, just pack your stuff up. Don't engage with it. Just walk away. Because if you do something stupid, then it's your word versus their word. Yeah. If you do something stupid, then it's your word versus their word, and that's not going to go well. So yeah, if somebody's being rude, just walk away. Be done with it. Be the bigger person. I'm going to take about a 2-minute break. Hello and welcome everybody to the chat, by the way. I'm just rambling and recording videos, shorts. I'm going to see how this goes. Hopefully, the, what is it? The fan for my phone cooler is not obnoxiously loud. I tested it last night on a live stream. Everyone said it was good. I tested it earlier today on my own. I could hear it, but I was also listening for it, so hopefully it's not annoying. I kind of did a Q&A, so basically I'm filming a bunch of shorts videos and just taking a bunch of questions I've gotten in the past, making them into 20 to 30 to a minute long videos to upload. Hey, if you have any questions, obviously, ask away. Also going to be telling a few stories, probably. Also, if you ask something and I don't get to it immediately, that's just because I gotta see the question on this phone, so I might miss it for like a moment. Oh, what is the next video? The next little shorts. Okay. When to build a fire. Did I tell my time about blah? Did you tell your time about Maryland? Which one? Cumberland? That one was sketchy. I do actually have some stories from Cumberland, Maryland planned out. We can go through that now if you want to. like the dude with the dead bird. That's always an interesting story. So let's just talk about it. So, me and Stephanie, she was my friend. She was also homeless. She's a real good friend of mine. Want to link back up with her at some point. Anyway, we were in Cumberland, Maryland, and we were just walking down the train station. Yeah, we were down the train station, walking down the train station, minding our own business, and we see two of our friends. Two of her friends. They were just acquaintances to me. And one's completely knocked out on the ground, and the other is bloody nose and all that stuff, and there's EMTs. And so we walk up and we ask what happened. And the guy's name is Adam. And we ask Adam, like, what happened? And he told us the story. So, here's what happened. Adam and other dude, I don't remember his name, were just hanging out, minding their own business, and Adam was eating a hot dog. And a guy walked up to him, and I can't remember, we're going to call him Bob for this story. And Bob walks up to Adam, and he says, "Hey, can I have some bread for my bird? The bird is dead." Adam's like, you've been carrying the bird around all day. It's a dead bird. And Adam says, "No, you're not. I'm not giving you bread. This is all I've had to eat all day." And the guy yells at him like, "No, you're going to give me bread for my bird." And again, the bird is dead. And Adam just says no. And he gets ready to walk away. And the guy pulls the phone out, chucks it at Adam, hits him square in the face. And this dude, Bob, he's like 6'5", completely jacked. WWE pro wrestler kind of looking guy. And this dude, he just fights off both Adam and the other guy and knocks the one guy out, bloodies Adam up, and just gets away. They caught him like the next day. But yeah, that was an interesting experience. A dude got knocked out, another guy got a bloody face, all because a guy wanted to feed bread to his dead bird. That's just a thing that happens. Oh no, he wanted to feed the bread to the bird. He was supposedly like caressing it, and it was his pet, it was his friend. Yeah, Bob, the dude in question, he was on all the drugs in the world. It's kind of sad because the only experience I ever had with him personally were actually good experiences. So he actually stopped me from doing something stupid. This story probably won't make me look good, but it's a thing that happened. So me and like 5 other people, we were down at the Cumberland Mall. Now, he just started talking smack to me, and I ignored it, and I ignored it, and then he said, "I'm going to punch you." And he took a step towards me. So I jumped up, and I cracked him once, and he backed up, and then he came at me again, and then I kind of tackled him to the ground, and I got on top of him. And then Bob, I really can't remember his name, but Bob, he grabbed me from behind and picked me up like I was a little child. He's like, "No, there's people around, don't do that." Okay, I'm not messing with you. And then after all that went down, me and Doug talked it out. We were good after that. I don't remember what his problem was. I think he was just having like a really bad day or something. But yeah, that was the only fight I've ever been in. Other than like middle school my entire life. The only fight where I fought back. I was, there was that one situation where the dude sucker punched me, and then threatened me with a machete, and I was just like, nope, I'm not even gonna mess with that. You know? I don't care what people say. When he didn't have the machete in his hands, but he said he was gonna get the machete. And when he said that, I was like, okay, no, I'm walking away. I'm not even gonna try and fight that. Did I ever tell that story on this channel? I think I did. I'm pretty sure I did. But I can tell it again, just in case. So, Cumberland, Maryland, all of this stuff happened in the same town. This is in Cumberland, Maryland, where I was homeless for like 3 months. I just stayed in this town for 3 months because it was my hometown. But anyway, in Cumberland, Maryland, I was staying at a camp with a dude. It was our camp. And it was over the meth. He was finally quitting meth. And he told me, hey, burn all my paraphernalia. Like, okay, I don't have a problem with that. So I burned all of his stuff, all of his like meth stuff. I don't know what it's called. And he's telling me about he's going to get clean, he's going to go to rehab, he's going to do all this stuff. I'm like, good, that's awesome. And I made a very innocent joke. At least I thought it was an innocent joke. And I told him, we were both completely drunk. And I told him, if you ever do meth again, I'll kick your butt. And it wasn't serious. It was just joking around. And he took great offense to this. So while my turned, he threw like, I don't know if it was a haymaker or a jab or what, right at the back of my head and cracked me. So obviously, I up. I'm like, what is going on? And he starts screaming about how I'm disrespecting him because I threatened to punch him if he does meth again. He knows the joke. So I'm just like, all right, whatever. I'm not dealing with this. I go to the tent I was sleeping in. I go to grab all my stuff. And he says, you're not taking your stuff. And I said, oh, yes, I am. And at this point, I'm ready to, throw a few fists at him because I'm not letting him steal all my stuff. And then he takes a few steps back and he says, I'm going to get the machete. And at that point, I'm like, oh, well, over. So I left. And, yeah, I left. And then a few days later, because I remembered, he told me what day he's going to rehab. A few days later, me and Stephanie go back to the camp after he had supposedly gone to rehab. He wasn't there. I got most of my stuff, not all of it. He took a lot of my stuff with him wherever he went. But I got most of my stuff back and left. And then like 2 weeks later, I just left Cumberland, Maryland because I had had enough of it because of all of the violence and all of the drugs. I was just like, oh, this is bad. Like, I've been in one fist fight, and then I had a guy sucker punch me and threaten me with a machete. Another dude got cracked open because he wouldn't give bread to a dead bird. Just not a place I want to be around. And so yeah, that's why I pretty much left Cumberland. Yeah, Cumberland is where I stayed with my biological mother for about a month or two. I stayed with her for a little bit, and then I had left and just gone back into the woods because I preferred the woods over the house. It also, yeah, I was with her for a month or two. That was I mainly went there in the first place just because that was right after I fell off the cliff, and my ankle was tore up, my wrist was tore up. So I stayed there, and I got a job doing some demolition work with a group of guys, made a little bit of money. And then I was planning on going to DC after that. Because I had a great idea. I was going to film myself walking to Washington, D.C. just to catch a Nationals game because I'm a big baseball guy. And I got like a quarter of the way to D.C. and my solar panel broke. And I was walking the towpath, which is like, it's like a rails to trails thing. And there just wasn't anywhere for me to charge up. So I was like, okay, I'm going to go back to Cumberland. I'm going to try and find some work. Maybe find some work with those demo guys I was working with. Get a solar panel and then go back out. And I got back into Cumberland and there were pretty much all the demo jobs dried up. I just found a couple jobs moving and stuff, but it wasn't enough to feed me and to get me a good solar panel. So I ended up staying in Cumberland for a long time. Until finally I just had enough and I said, I don't care if I starve or whatever, I'm just going south. And I went south. And I came down to Florida and things have been good ever since. So yeah, that was. I'm trying to think of anything else that happened in Cumberland, Maryland. I mean, so many things happened in Cumberland, Maryland. It was every single day, someone was getting punched in the face. It just wasn't a fun place to be. And the drugs were out of control. And I mean, like, excuse me, people would just do drugs out in public, and the police just would not care. They just wouldn't care. I didn't understand it at all. Oh, why am I going to Tennessee? That was a good question. So I like Florida. I like the people in Florida. I don't like the climate in Florida. I hate the climate. I like the people. Like, the people were great. And until recently, I was getting good work. But so Tennessee, there's a couple reasons. The biggest one being the climates. I prefer colder climates. And so I want to go to Tennessee for that reason. Also, hurricanes are a little freaky when you're homeless. I mean, they're freaky regardless. But when you're homeless, they're extra kind of worrisome. So I kind of want to get away from hurricanes and also tornadoes. Up in Tennessee, there's not as many tornadoes. Yeah, since I've been in Florida, I've been hit by like 3 hurricanes and 1 tornado. And that's just way too many close calls. So yeah. Tennessee, it just, the climate sounds better to me. I'll definitely miss the people here. All the people, not all the people. 99% of the people down here are super down to earth, super cool, would help anybody out. Just good people. Yeah, hurricanes. Oh. I rode Hurricane Helene out in a small little RV with 3 dogs. And the entire night, the RV was just rocking back and forth like this. 100% thought it was going to tip over. The next morning, the neighbor actually drove up and he was like, hey, I got like emergency water and stuff. I was worried the RV was going to be tipped over when I got here. Because yeah, the RV was just tipping back and forth the entire night. My 3 dogs, they were fine with it. It didn't scare them at all, but it terrified me. Oh yeah, the wind was howling. I actually tried to live stream that hurricane, but it didn't go so well because you'd think, you know, a hurricane, it would cool everything off, but no, it was still like 90 degrees in the middle of the night with all this rain and wind and everything, and my phone was just overheating. Give me just 1 minute here. I just want to take a hit from my tobacco pipe, but I don't want to do it actually on stream because I don't know how YouTube would feel about that. Yeah, Florida, people are great. Climate is not for me. Well, most of the people are great. I did get into like one altercation down here, which I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about, but I probably will. Yeah, I'll talk about it here in a minute. I'll just change all the names. I don't think the dude would be stupid enough to like go to court or anything. I have not heard, and I'll look them up. See, if I had a car, I wouldn't mind being in Florida. That'd be pretty cool. Me and my now ex-girlfriend, we rode a tornado out in Florida. In her little minivan. That's a fun little story. I'm pretty sure I've told it on the channel, but I'll tell it again just for fun. So, girlfriend at the time, she drove to Panama City Beach to hang out with me, and so the first thing that happened was I woke up to like a tropical storm. I don't know if it was a hurricane. I don't think it was a hurricane. I'm pretty sure I would have remembered it was actually. It was a tropical storm. It was crazy bad. And anyway, she gets there. She picks me up, and we're just hanging out, and we get a tornado warning. Or just a tornado, whichever one's the bad one. I'm pretty sure a tornado warning is the bad one. And we get a tornado warning. We ended up going to Walmart for a completely different reason. We just wanted to get like some food or something. And while we're going to Walmart, her little minivan just starts rocking back and forth like this. Like the tornado, I don't think the tornado touched down, but the winds were crazy and her little van's rocking back and forth. And she's having the time of her life. She's like from this area, used to tornadoes. She's having the time of her life. I'm freaked out a little bit. We finally get to Walmart. We go into Walmart. We get some food and everything. We're going to leave and we're stopped at the front door. The Walmart staff would not let anybody leave because the threat of a tornado was so severe. Like they just would not let anybody leave. So we had to hunker down in Walmart for like 20 minutes. And then finally, they were like, okay, everybody can go. And we walk out, bright and sunshine. No wind, no rain. It's just giant storm passed through, hit us hard, and then nothing. Which always happens, I've noticed. Like, every time I've almost been hit by a tornado or a hurricane, it's like really, really bad, and then bright and sunny. Like, just moments later. A freight train's pretty decent term to use there. When I came down to Florida the second time, I got caught in a tornado. I don't know what the definition of caught in a tornado is. I was walking down the road, and it's super cloudy, and everything, and I'm not thinking anything of it. And then all of a sudden it starts hailing. Not big hail, just tiny pellets of hail. And I look up in the sky, and there is a little spinny spin happening up there. I don't know what they're actually called. And I'm thinking, oh crap, because I'm just on the side. I'm not even in town. I'm just on the side of the road. And it just starts downpouring. And so I jump into some like woods. It was private property. It wasn't like state property or anything, but I was just a little terrified. So I just jumped into these woods. I put my tarp up. I started texting my ex-girlfriend. I'm like, hey, if I can see a tornado, what do I do? And she told me, jump in a ditch. Apparently, if you like jump in a ditch, the tornado can possibly like just jump right over you and you won't get hurt. And so I'm looking around and there's a ditch, but it's like completely filled up with water. So I'm just thinking to myself, like, okay, if this tornado hits me, I'm just submerging myself in this water ditch place and hoping for the best. But luckily, like an actual tornado did not touch down as far as I'm aware. So, but even with that, again, it was like 20 minutes of hail and rain and wind, and then it just calm afterwards. It was later in the day there. It wasn't bright and sunny afterwards, but it was super calm. Have I ever trained hopped over states? When I was 15 years old, I did. But since then, nah. I've never done it. When I was 15 years old, me and my friends, we hopped the train in Cumberland. We didn't even know where it was going exactly. We just assumed. This was really, really stupid of us. You know, we could have ended up anywhere in the United States. But we were like, hey, Hyman, Pennsylvania is that way. We want to go to Hyman, Pennsylvania. So let's just jump on this train and see if it takes us there. Luckily, it did. We had to jump off of the train while it was going like 10 or 15 miles an hour. And we get to Hyman, PA, just to go swimming, jumping off a few cliffs and going swimming. And we had no idea how we were going to get back. Anyway, we go swimming and we get done. And then the realization set in like, oh, how are we getting back? Because we're like 40 or 50 miles away from Cumberland. So my buddy had to call his mom and be like, hey, don't ask how, but we made it to Hyman, Pennsylvania. Can you come pick us up? And she did. So that was an experience. But no, I never rode the rails from state to state. I don't know, it just... It's not that it sounds dangerous or anything. I'm more worried about like security and stuff and getting in a lot of trouble. I don't know, I'm one of those people that just like doesn't want to go to jail or anything like that, or get in any kind of trouble or end up on the news. I've never spent a night in jail in my life. It's something I'm proud of. I don't want to change that. Oh, also, I missed a few messages. Oh, me and Joey could collab? I mean, I'd be down for it. I will, like I said, I will screenshot and I will send it, or I won't send it, I'll screenshot it and I'll look him up later. Joey the Gypsy. That's awesome, you made enough money from live streaming. I would love to do that. The problem is I don't make money from YouTube yet. Still, because it requires an ID to make money from YouTube. And we've all been, I've told that saga many a times. It's like the only money I make off of YouTube is like just donations people make. Which I'm hoping I can get a few dollars off of this stream because I got my phone bill due today, and I have $30 in my bank account, but I need dog food, and I'd rather have dog food for Jade than internet. I'll survive without a phone. Oh, have I run out of water? No. Hold on one second. I need to get a bottle of water. And I'm gonna take a small hit off of my little tobacco pipe. That's like completely homemade. I don't think I've ever showed this off. I should probably do that because it's so sketchy, but it works. Train hopping would be fun though. Like if it wasn't for the fear of getting into massive amounts of trouble, that'd be fun. No. So, here's the thing. Long hair will keep you cool if you know what you're doing. So it works on evaporation, basically. Give me 1 second. That's actually a good video. Like a good YouTube short. Okay, so, are you ever going to cut your hair? And the answer is no, for two reasons. The first reason, it keeps you warm in the winter. Long hair keeps you warm in the winter. But it also keeps you cool in the summer if you know what you're doing. So it works on like the evaporation principle, which is exactly what this little head thing does as well. If you get your hair really wet and the sun evaporates it, it draws heat out of your body. So as long as you keep your hair wet, it'll cool you down throughout the day. So yeah, that's why I keep my hair long. And I've got like this little solar shower thing right here, that I keep water in. And I will just wet my hair throughout the day, and it keeps me super cool in the summertime. Even if it's like 100 degrees. Same with this little head thing right here. I keep that wet all the time, and I'm always cool. Oh, what's up, Outlaw? I think I listened to like one song a while ago. I haven't checked it out recently. I totally will, though. For sure. I hope you're doing good. How's your back? Also, I wanted to ask you something because I was just thinking about this and I wanted to tell the story, but it's probably best I get your approval to tell the story. Obviously, I won't use any names. Yeah, I'm still over here. Can I tell the story about the pedophile guy in detail without giving names? Oh, okay. Here we go. This is a good story. Outlaw will fill in any blanks I might have here. So, I'm on Buddy's property, and I don't remember why I walked down. Oh, I needed to pay my phone bill. My buddy owed me like $50 for some work I did, and I needed that to pay my phone bill. And so I'm walking down to be like, hey, can you cash out me this money so I can get my phone bill? And I get down there. Another dude who was living on the property is laying on the ground, completely messed up. And I'm sitting here like, what's going on? And apparently, this guy, who I think he was 19 years old, was sending like pictures of his private parts to like, I think it was like an 11-year-old girl, something like that, and just saying very gross things. And the guy was living on the property. The mother of the girl came over and said like, hey, he's been saying this stuff. He's been showing this stuff to my daughter. And the other two guys who were on the property, the landowner and another buddy, beat the heck out of him. And I'm watching this. And I'm sitting here and I'm just like, I just want to pay my phone bill. So, and they're like, hey, you got to get off the property. Talking to the pedophile guy, like, you got to get off the property, blah, blah, blah. And I'm thinking to myself, the only way I'm going to get my phone bill paid is if this dude gets off the property. But the guy is playing dead, like he's pretending like he's hurt when he's not. So I grab a gas can and I walk up and I'm like, I'm going to wake him up so he leaves because I need to get my phone bill paid. And my buddy's like, you're not going to do that. And I unscrewed the little gas can. I poured some gas on the dude and that woke him up immediately. No more faking after that. He woke up immediately. Other buddy started flicking a lighter in his face. I was like, oh my goodness, don't do that. Don't do that. And yeah, he got up real quick. And eventually, he found a ride out of there, and I got my phone bill paid. Okay, yeah, he was 20 and she was 12. Yeah, so that was like my only real experience of like violence down here in Florida that I experienced. Other than that, everything's been pretty good. But yeah, don't be talking to little girls in Florida. It will not end well for you. Oh my goodness. Yes, I forgot that happened. The mother of the girl like got on top of him with her gun. And that woke the dude up real quick. He's like, oh no, don't kill me, don't kill me, don't kill me, don't kill me. Yeah. Yeah, I almost saw a guy die. I mean, like I say, he's a pedophile, so I wouldn't, it just would have been what it was. We had the excavator, so, you know. And there was an alligator living in the pond. But no. He survived. He's alive. I don't know if he's doing well. I never talked to the dude, so. Hopefully, he learned his lesson. Jade is amazing. She's a little tornado, but no, Jade's doing amazing. I had her out here yesterday, live streaming. She is a forever puppy. She stopped growing, and she still looks like, she's only like 6 months old. So yeah, she's just a forever puppy. High protein, high fat. at least like 20% protein, 20% fat. No, she doesn't get the cheap stuff. Yeah. Like from the very beginning, I made a conscious effort to make sure not to give her like cheap food and such. Also, Outlaw, if you're still here, you need help with any work by chance? I'm trying to make a few dollars. If you need help with anything, shoot me a text. I don't care what it is as long as it's legal. Also, I talked about showing my pipe ball. Look at this little thing. I made this out of just a couple sticks. And this is a wood tip to a Black and Mild cigar. And yeah. It works. Speaking of which, I'm going to smoke a little bit of tobacco. One day, I'll quit the old tobacco. But right now, it's just relaxing. Whoa, hold up a second. A house on the creek? Oh. Are you talking about the creek property that what's-her-face was trying to buy? Because that is like my favorite property that you own. I mean, I might take you up on that if there's a creek. Oh, I might definitely take you up on that. In fact, I'm going to tell you right now, yeah, I'm going to take you up on that. For sure. That's the only thing this piece of property right here is missing, is a creek. Like, right now, I'm sitting in the creek. Yeah, for sure. Is there still water in the creek, or is it dried up? Also, are you still working quite a bit? You need an extra set of hands? I'll take out the dams. Yeah, I would eventually like to save up a couple dollars and get a van or a car and just kind of travel a little bit with Jade. Are you serious? You have a car? Oh my goodness. Clean? Title and everything? Well, maybe don't give too much information. If you got a car that you're willing to give me or loan me or I'll make payments on, I'm totally down for that. With the motor swap? Alright, yeah, I'll look at it for sure. Yeah, we will definitely plan something out there. Is the camper still at the creek property? Holy crap. Well, there we go. I don't even know what to say. Yeah, we're definitely going to, I'm definitely going to talk to you about that. Same to you. If you don't hear, you might not hear from me for a few days. Like I said, my phone bill's due, so I'm trying to make the $25 to pay it. So if you don't hear from me for a few days, that's why. But I'll definitely, once I get my phone bill paid, I'll be in contact with you. We'll set something up. Heck yeah. Oh, it's going to be so nice to be next to water again. Oh, seriously? I appreciate that. Yeah, like... not right now. I need to clean up around here before I go. Make sure everything is better than how I left it. You know what I mean? But a few days, yeah, for sure. Oh, sweet. I don't even know what to say. That's really awesome. Oh, good things are happening in life. Good things. Jade will be happy to be close to a creek. She misses jumping in the water. Well, I think given this new development, I may jump off of here to start cleaning up around the place and getting all my stuff together. Let everyone else know what's going on. Yeah. Alright. So yeah, I'm gonna jump off right now. Outlaw, I will be in contact with you. And once I get everything cleaned up, everything looks good, we'll set something up so I can get over there. Awesome. So yeah, that's going to do it for today's stream, everybody. I didn't do exactly what I was planning on doing, but even better things happened. So that's the universe. God bless the universe. So yeah, I may live stream tonight. I'm probably going to live stream tonight. I appreciate you, man. Yeah, I'll probably live stream tonight. We'll do a little burn stream and everything, and maybe Jade will make an appearance. We'll see. But yeah, Outlaw, I will text you a little later on, and we'll talk about it. For everyone else, I'll see you next time. Peace out, everybody.